Welcome to Angry Beaver Radio here on the Truth Frequency Radio Network, broadcasting live out of globalist-occupied Mother Kanata. We are live from the Scam Am Games. Boarding live. Now, just down the street from our location, just right at the end of the road, is the Tim Hortons, Tim Hortons Field there? And they've got the Scam Am Games going on right now. Sometimes you can hear the loudspeaker going on outside the window, and a bunch of people screaming and cheering.
Well, just to let you guys know, I just came back from that way, and it is a jam-packed house there. It holds approximately 22,000 people, and there's probably 1,000 there. So they're doing well so far.
You know, I go to a couple of meetings, and during the time I went to another meeting. Now, this time it was about the Pan Am Games parking lot. So during the time I was there, and they were asking questions, and I came out and said, well, it's $20 to park there. And I go, and this has been happening for all the Tiger Cat games there for a while now. And even though last year there was only a couple games there, but I go, before that there was a couple games that Scott Park was rented out with, and then there was a couple more games, and then there was a few more games the year before. So like for about the last 4 years, they've been using Ivor Wynn as a parking lot with probably about 100 to 200 cars at $15 to $20 a pop. I came across and asked them the one question is, where did that money go to? And he had no answer for me again. And next thing you know, I was sitting there, and a police officer come up to me, and he goes, I'd like to ask you a question. I go ahead. He goes, you're out of here. And I said, all right. And I was kicked out of there for asking that minor question. For some reason, I'm going to start going to all the city hall meetings, and like wherever I think that there's going to be somewhere like down at Ward 1 or Ward 2, I'm going to go there and ask some questions, and probably be kicked out of every meeting like I am off of YouTube and Google unless I'm on a show or something like that.
So the parking, like the Ivor Stadium, was it torn down and now it's a parking lot?
Well, it's now the new Tim Hortons Stadium, but across the street is Scott Park. Now and this is why they prolonged the school. The school was supposed to be built, the new mega school. They could have put it over on Wentworth Street where I suggested before. And they could have put it over, of course, where it is now. And now they've torn it down, and now they're going to take their time now to make the new mega school for the kids to go to.
And we're broadcasting live at a globalist-occupied Mother Kanata just down the street from the Scam Am Games that had kicked off. They started yesterday. So I don't know. I don't have much more in the Scam Am Games. I don't know about you guys.
No, it's just one thing about it is about security. Like we were talking about last weekend, that it's going to be like between $3 to $5 billion for security. And what happens if they only bring in $50 million revenue?
Well, like I said, I went by there earlier before I came here, and I walked by there, and I see no more than 1,000 people in the stands. And that's with my own eyes walking across, seeing them there.
Yeah, nobody's going down there. Nobody cares.
They haven't they haven't even filled up the hotels or places like that.
Like they're going to blow the budget on cardboard cutouts of people to make it look like somebody showed up.
Yeah, like the guy who was driving down the HOV lane with 2 extra mannequins inside.
Yeah. Only an $80 ticket.
Yeah.
Well, who wants to really go see it anyways when you're sitting there and you have all the security people along there like you're a terrorist anyways, like, you know. And that's the whole problem of it all. Like, I won't even walk by there. I was on the other side of Scott Park, which is on King Street, and there was still Cannon, and I could still see inside the stands there just looking through there, and there's 1,000 people there to watch a game regardless of whatever, and they were making this look so huge, and they knew in the beginning it never was going to be.
Yeah, they probably got more employees there. There's 1,000 employees in the stands, making sure the 2 people that showed up are safe and secure.
There was probably no more than 500 people on each side, from what I've seen of the stands.
Oh, people are going to watch it on TV.
Well, not only that, they could just go right by on Cannon Street there, stand in and watch there for free anyways. Yeah. They got such a big open fence there. Like, whoever made it like that, I don't understand. Whoever made the stadium like that to where people can just stand there and watch a whole game for free. When the next Tiger Cat game comes there, I'm not even going to buy a ticket. I'm just going to go there with my binoculars and stand there and watch it. Have a front row seat for free. I'll probably have 300 people outside there with me watching a game with binoculars.
Tiger Cats get a luncher.
Well, they haven't, to be honest, they haven't lost there yet. And, sooner or later it's going to happen. I
didn't know that.
Well,
undefeated.
Yeah, like they're undefeated there. I think they're like 10-0 there, but there's still problems with it all there and everything like that. As a matter of fact, the Tiger Cats came right out and said that they're not going to pay their part of the bill for the stadium because it's still not properly fixed.
Ah.
Well, I think they might be on a losing streak after the Scam-Am curse gets put on the building after these games. There'll be a Scam-Am curse put on the building, and the Tiger Cats will never win another game there.
It's mostly all volunteers, though, Pan Am games. Only they got like executives at the top.
So they stole all the money and hired volunteers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think there's over 500,000 of them, so you probably know one of them at least.
Well, I gotta see this $56 million velodrome bicycle track. I mean, come on, what is this thing?
I hope people are able to toboggan down afterwards and pay $5 at least or something, since, they're not allowed to do it.
Well, it's a circular track that's on an embankment, and it's made out of wood. And it's not that big of a track. Like it's a good size, but it's not that big. It's not like it goes like through a park or something like this. So I mean, to spend that kind of money on a wooden circular oval is totally absurd to me. I think it's just it's a great, tax money extortion tool. That's what it is. And who's going to use this?
And who's going to, like he says, who's going to use it afterwards? Like that's the biggest deal of all. Who can use it afterwards? Like, I know right now that after these Pan Am games and everything like that, like hopefully they'll take all this crap off of Cannon Street there, all the bike lanes and everything like that. This is just getting ridiculous. And if these guys that are out there for our city that are selling those bikes that are $600 and $4 a kilometer to ride somewhere on it, like.
Yeah, what's the deal with these bikes for the games here, Phil?
The deal with the bikes is that the city figures that they would make some money off of it. Now, I see Matthew Green riding on one of these and he was still in his suit. He reminded me of a guy from the 60s riding all through the whole city on his bike. He had dress shoes on too, so he looked pretty sharp.
So this is some type of city bike club or something where you get a card or something and I don't know, I guess you swipe it and there's bikes all over the city. This bike program costs a lot of money. So there's bikes randomly placed around the city and anyone can grab this bike if they're part of the program and take this bike for the day.
You have to go to City Hall, you have to register yourself on there to start. And then of course they'll probably want your credit card number, and that's always great to give it over to those guys. I would always love to have them have my credit card.
Yeah, any idea how much it costs to rent one of these bikes, Phil?
$4 a kilometer.
$4 per kilometer. Now the taxis don't even charge that much, Phil.
Well, this is our city hall out there, and they think that people are going to come here from all around the world for the Pan Am Games for all this, and it's been a big waste of money. All of it, the whole thing, all along Cannon Street, all the way down. They're expecting people to take all these. I see more people riding on the sidewalks than I do these paths. I want to assure you of it. These bike lanes are a shame.
Now, I saw a picture of one of these bicycles, and it had former head of the NDP leader's name on one of the wheel well fenders of the bicycle, and it said Jack Layton.
Well,
what the hell is this?
Andrea Horvath is from here, and she is the Ontario leader there. So,
to me, that's really bad taste to be throwing political ads on there. Like, if the NDP party wants to take money out of its donations and spend it on a bike program and advertise on these bikes is one thing. Their bikes, they're friggin', stickers, but I don't get it.
well, if you figure it out, if you add all those bikes together and you add the bike lanes that they added there across all these streets and everything like that, where people still use the sidewalks and the police don't ticket anybody because, what the heck, what for, right?
Well, can the average citizen in Hamilton, can they advertise on those bicycles? Can they put their own business sticker, Joe's hardware store or, Jill's bakery as they go to ride it, so they just slap their own ad on there. Wouldn't people get mad and be like, hey, the city'd be like, you can't advertise for free on this. It's like, well, who paid for the bike? The taxpayers, not the city.
As long as you pay for a permit for that sign, I'm sure the city won't mind.
Yeah, as long as you pay a permit. You see what I mean? Like they're using it for campaign ads for free on the taxpayer's dollar. The whole bike system's on the taxpayer's dollar, and then they're advertising their own crap. And it's like, what the hell? Like, can I advertise my own business on there? I'm the one paying for the damn bicycle program.
Yeah, and it's on wheels, so you shouldn't have to have it. Yeah, no.
Well, the answer is no, I can't. They'll come after you. They won't let you do that. But I should be able to. I'm the one that pays for the bloody program, whether I like it or not.
Well, here's the best part. Our city hall holds no contracts here in Hamilton, Ontario. They're all contracts are rented out to our city hall here. So what I'm saying is that if a person gets a flat tire, who has the contract for all these bikes getting flat tires all the time? There's got to be a contract out there because the city cannot own the bicycles. So if the city is not allowed to own the bicycles, who really owns the bicycles? This is the funniest part.
I don't know if I know who it is, but I have a feeling that it could be the same guy that's been slashing all those bike tires.
The possibility could be there, yes, And, but altogether, like, if our city hall's not allowed to hold any contracts for asphalt, for anything inside of there, I can't see these bikes being any different. So maybe what I'm saying is maybe the mayor and all of our aldermen, got together there and decided to put in their own money for this and decide to say, hey, this is a great idea. We could all ride around in our city, look like idiots all together, and, we could own this, and we'll just put all of our names in there, or else,
it looks like a Hitler bike. A Hitler bike
with the city of Hamilton on it.
It's crazy how they keep doing it, because they did it in Toronto about 4 or 5 years ago, these bikes. And I think Montreal, it's even longer than that. I think they came out of Montreal, Bixie Bikes or something, and it's never made money there, and it's not making money here.
Well, you can go out there and buy your own bike for $20 off the street, seeing some guy just walking down the street, like you could see the right person. You might only pay $15 or $10 for a bike. And all of a sudden they want you to rent a bike for $4 a kilometer. You could go to any Walmart, Canadian Tire, or anywhere else and buy a bike for $120, but they want you to go out there and spend money on their Hitler bike and pay $4 a kilometer.
Yeah, that part is actually crazy. Maybe like $4 an hour or something. Like a kilometer is, you can ride that in it's less than 10 minutes, like 5 minutes.
Well, our city hall is really special people that are inside of there anyways, and you can tell because altogether, probably out of the percentage of all the voting across Hamilton, Ontario here was no higher than 24%.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, even if somebody wanted to get involved in using this share a bike, get yourself some free herpes, community bicycle program. Why would anyone even want to pay $4 a kilometer? I mean, you'd think the average person would know that that's a complete ripoff and is going to just walk away from the whole idea. I guess some people want the risk, like to live on the edge, like the risk getting the herpes from the bike seat. And and they don't mind paying, and they pay for that extra thrill. That's what it is. That's the people paying the $4 a kilometer. They're paying for that dirty bicycle.
Well, I guess what they have plans for the winter time is what they're going to do is they're going to put ski tracks on those bicycles, and people are going to be able to use them.
Well, they allowed them go down hills with those things. That's what I want to know.
Well, our city of Hamilton is really a bunch of geniuses here. Like, I haven't seen any of them come up with a plan or an idea that has really been any good to make any money for our city here. That has only cost us money. And I keep hearing that is all these small businesses around here are going to make a lot of money. I don't know where they're at, but I don't see anybody making any types of money there. The only place I see making money there is the Tim Hortons there, and yesterday I seen exactly 14 police officers there when I went in to get a coffee.
Well, let's just say there's a vibrant film industry here in Hamilton, and it's based off of Hamilton is used as a stunt double for Detroit City. So that should tell you something.
Yeah.
And I went down to I was down in Nathan Phillips Square yesterday. It's the Pan Am Games. They got a big setup there, right? It's one of their main venues, Nathan Phillips Square.
So they're paying
they're charging $4 a bottle.
So they're paying $2.25 per
million liters.
Per million liters. So that equals 2,500,000 milliliter bottles.
And they're charging $4 at a Pan Am Games stand.
Yeah, and then they go and charge $4 at the Pan Am Games, which is costing the taxpayers how many billion?
Look, we're going to be in debt with that, I believe. And with the Scam Am Games going on, we're going to be in debt again. Oh boy, when is this going to end?
Yeah, that was a lot of building.
Yeah.
I checked some of it out this week. I saw the Nathan Phillips Square, and which I guess that's one of their official venues. Like, that's where they have the parties at night. They got a bunch of stages there, and that's where they have the official store. But I also went down to the Torch down at the CN Tower. And it definitely looks like it's like basically the Torch is designed almost like the back of Pachi. So it looks like they're burning Pachi, which is weird.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's their mascot, the official mascot. It's like a multicolored torch.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what they're thinking.
Was it to symbolize a gay torch or something?
Yeah, and it's part of the Fourth Reich as well, because as you know, the torch started in the Third Reich, torch relay.
So we got the Nazi symbolism coupled with homosexuality symbolism?
Yeah, it's like the rainbow swastika.
It's the rainbow Nazi torch. Great.
That conspiracy.
And it only cost us, $8 billion or something like that.
Well, we don't know the final price yet, but there was $2.5 billion, and then you got to add more.
Yeah, who knows? We're not going to know till I think, a little after the dust has settled on this.
But the one that they're trying to get, there's a taxpayer federation's trying to get the facts and figures on Kanye West, because that was the big announcement this week.
Oh, Kanye West, yeah, he's going to show up to the Scam Am Games here.
Yeah, to close it off next weekend, I guess.
Right. So, what's that going to cost us, and why? Kanye West? What do Canadians care about Kanye West?
Well, he's a global, worldwide movement because he's also known as Yeezus.
Right, but I mean, like, this is appealing to like the smallest percentage, a tiny demographic. Most Canadians do not care about Kanye West or any, many rappers out there. It wouldn't matter if you brought Eminem here or something. It's like, well, you're appealing to like some teenagers and the odd college kids, maybe. I mean, which.
Well,
don't have
the whole
money.
thing is that.
Do you know any teenagers or college kids with money? All they have is no money or debt, and there's little to no jobs out there in this economy. So you want to appeal with this, we're going to bring the youth in. Well, the youth don't have money to even get in, never mind buy anything while they're down there. Like a marketing fail. That's all I could see. That's all I can tell you. They need to bring in somebody who bring in an artist that attracts the demographic that has money to spend. They can pay for parking, they can pay for tickets, they can pay for, food and drinks and that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter anyway, because at the end of the day, it's all going to be, no matter, even if they did market the hell out of it, they've spent way too much money. They'd have to run the Pan Am Games for the next 10 years straight to try to recoup the billions of dollars they've wasted on this nonsense.
Yeah, now you're getting closer, because I was going to say that, one of the major purposes that they've shown now is that if they do a successful games, it's going to boost their chances for the next Olympics. And they're going to plan for 2024 Toronto Olympics.
But what is their view of success? Is their view of success spending billions of taxpayers' money to make $10-20 million, and you didn't even make it because they keep forgetting to subtract that 20 million they made from the billions. So they lost, if they spent $6 billion, they lost like $5.8 billion. It's like, oh, congratulations. That's a failure. That's a fail. And that's what they do with the Olympics too. They spend way more money than they can take in, and it's a waste of money. Well, not in their eyes, because them and all their insider buddies get all the contracts, so they make tons of money through stealing it from the taxpayer. So I don't know.
It is a big financial scam, and here's a one I found yesterday. They're handing out Pay Mobile. These looks like a credit card. It's got a MasterCard logo on it, and it's "You Are Welcome, Toronto 2015 free promo gift card." It's got $5 on it, and it says no activation fee, no monthly fee, no transaction fee. So it's like a cashless card that it says is by the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation, which I think I read it elsewhere is the host First Nation of the Pan Am Games, and now they've got their logo on a credit card. I can't, and they're just handing out like these walking down the street. They've got some volunteers. Use it at our food truck. You are welcome. So I guess they got a food truck too.
So what is it? Is this like a prepaid type of card that they can?
Yeah. Activation free. And then it's got monthly balance, maintenance free, balance inquiry free, foreign currency exchange, bank rate plus 2.5%. So I think you might be able to add more to this, not for use at ATMs or online gambling.
Yeah, I mean there's the prepaid, I think Visa, MasterCards, those things. And I believe they've recently waived their fees that they used to charge for the prepaids. But
then that's probably what they got. It's just weird that they would have the host First Nation is now also tied in with this financial scam. They're trying to get you with.
Well, I mean, the only thing I'll say about the prepaids is it's, people who are worried about online security for doing any type of transactions, they want to order something online. And they're worried about going through PayPal because there's been lots of problems with PayPal, using their own credit, using an actual credit card, or using their bank account. That I know why they feel insecure about using that, because anyone could be key logging or screen capturing your computer who left something on there from a website you visited. So you never know who's watching what. So you don't really want to do that online banking stuff. So I mean, a prepaid credit card, say there's something you can't find locally, you got to order it online, and it's perfect for that, because you can go load on the amount of money you need to put on, maybe a little bit more just in case, not much, and then that way if somebody was hacking you or watching you doing screen capturing, there's no real money there for them to steal. So I mean, it's one way to protect yourself for online purchases, but most people don't care. They're just like, look, I got to buy this stuff. They'll use their bank card or their PayPal or a credit card. But I know many people that have been screwed over online shopping using these methods. A prepaid card. Now, if you load your prepaid card up with $1,000 and then you go buy something for $15 and somebody's screen capturing it, well, that person could theoretically empty the rest of the card on you. So, really, you're only protected on a prepaid card if you know what you're going to buy first, you go put that amount on and you go buy it right away online. The card's empty, and there's no way any hackers or anyone watching can steal your money, right? But again, I'm not a big fan of the electronic payment, electronic currency.
Yeah, we should go back to using straight cash. That way you won't be scammed,
Well, there's a lot of conveniences it can provide, but like say if you were to go all electronic, cashless completely, it's a threat to financial freedom and liberty, I would say. It's a definite threat. So I mean, I think a combination's fine. But to go totally cashless, I think we're basically going up there and hanging our necks in the noose and waiting for the bankers, hoping the bankers don't kick the stool out from under us.
Yeah. So, welcome to debt slavery.
Yeah, it's just a giant circle.
It is, yeah. It is.
There's a bank that's the main sponsor of the Pan Am Games, CIBC. And down at City Hall, they've got these swings. I guess they're for kids to go on. But I think because they're large, so anyone from all ages can go on. Because it's like the side panels of a bank machine. Like a place you'd get your money out of. And it's like you sit on that sort of like as a seat. So it doesn't have the actual machine in it. It's like, it's just like a hollowed out bank panels.
Oh,
Like
so you
big
sit down
swing.
in there and all of a sudden, you get your, you get your wallet scanned. Sit down here.
Yeah,
The free
just a
scan.
tap.
Yeah. Well, not the kids per se, but
They'll tap your card.
I think the kids are more safe than than we are, kind of loud, because a lot of them don't. Little kids at 7, 10 years old don't have wallets. Well, some do, I guess, but they don't have bank cards and all this kind of stuff. So they're a lot safer with money.
How about what were those pay-per-use toilets? Did they ever hit the streets?
I think there's a few.
Yeah.
There's a few on the streets.
All I remember is they cost an absurd amount of money, to build these things.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much they're charging per poo. I don't know.
Wait.
Probably $2 or $3.
So it was the city of Toronto had, they wanted to implement these pay-per-use toilets.
I've only seen one down near Harbourfront. There is one down there.
Right.
So there's probably, in the Pan Am Games they can make some cash.
Captain John's probably living in it.
There is free, porta-pottie things at the, Nathan Phillips Square. They've got a few rows of them.
Right.
Well, you know what we call them? We call them the Newfie Space Shuttle.
Newfie Space Shuttle.
Yeah.
It is like a weird blue water usually. You can see in the water in the.
Hello and welcome to Angry Beaver Radio here on truthfrequencyradio.com, broadcasting live out of globalist-occupied Mother Kanadistan. FEMA Region A, just north of the border, eh? So, what's new this week, guys? I don't,
I was, has anybody been following the Scam games?
Not much. I saw a little bit in the headlines. Apparently Kanadistan's doing pretty good in the medals. But other than that, I don't follow sports generally, and most of these sports are really obscure. They don't have a big fan base. So, I mean, no, I have no idea. All I know is Kanadistan's winning.
Well, I heard
How is Canada winning?
We got I think we got the most medals or the most gold so far.
What do you mean? We have anybody here that can do anything?
I don't know. What kind of sports do they play in the Scam games? Like, what do they do? Like, throw bottles at cars or? I mean, I don't know.
I don't understand.
See, that's the thing. Most of the population doesn't even know what games take place. I know there's the velodrome. They ride around on a bicycle in a circle. Only costs us $56 million. But yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone that, is going to see these events.
And then a few years ago in Beijing Olympics, most of the Chinese, I believe, had the gold medals. So something's going on.
So you think
here I can understand we don't have much to offer.
Oh, maybe some rigging going on. Some cheating?
Yeah, that the Beijing Olympics, apparently there was supposed to be underage girls that were competing that were not the right age, underage, so that was a scandal there. That didn't get too much headway or headlines. Right.
And then there was Germany. They entered 2 cheetahs in at the 100-yard dash. Cheetahs. You know, it's
real cheetahs, right?
Yeah, cheetahs. Like, who's going to run a cheetah in a 100-yard dash? Nobody. I mean, it's like, come on, guys. So
the cheetah won a gold medal?
The cheetahs took gold.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, they have diving and stuff like that, swimming and cycling there, and they have a few other things to just to make it look like we're doing something.
I wonder if we have any transgenders in the Pan Am Games. It'd be called the Trans Am Games.
Yeah, probably.
Because this is becoming more of an issue, because this is you see this more and more, that a professional athlete who is dressed up in makeup with long hair, looking like a woman, actually has the body of a man and is a man biologically, but self-identifies as a woman, so competes in the women's league against actual women, and then goes in there and starts kicking ass and taking names because physically he's a man. So, I mean, in relation to professional sports, when they're being pressured to accept these men dressed up as women as actually being women. So pretty soon we're going to have all the women's leagues of professional sports filled with transgendered men that couldn't quite make the pro league and the men's league. So they put on a dress and played for the women's division. You know?
Interesting.
I mean, just wait. It's coming around the corner, and it's going to be people who aren't even transgendered. They just figure, hey, I can make $100,000 a year playing for the women's pro team if I put on a dress. I couldn't make it in pro basketball in the men's division, so I slap on a dress and I can play in the pro league in the women's division. Haha. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Where do you draw the line? Like, you got Olympic athletes, it's an Olympic male athlete competing in the women's division. I mean, it's...
Well, maybe they can play in both divisions.
I guess. That's what you should come up with, the Trans Am Games. It's the Olympic Games for transgenders or something.
Well, that's where boycotts come in.
Boycotts?
Transcots.
That's West, yeah, transcots, yeah.
Transcots, boys cots.
Oh, God. Boy Scouts, yeah.
No, that's down at the Pope's, Catholic Church Games.
Oh.
Ooh.
Now,
Johnny's out there to help people, to spread the peace, you know?
He's out there to spread the UN New World Order government. So, what do you guys think? These HOV lanes, the carpool lanes on the 401 around the city, right? Now, these were set up for the Scam Am Games or the Trans Am Games, the Pan Am Games, whatever you want to call it, the multi-billion-dollar theft of the Canadian people. These HOV lanes, there's been a bunch of controversy because it's caused traffic woes. People are putting in blow-up dolls in their cars to try to get to work on time because nobody's using these lanes, but they're not allowed in them because they are not carpooling. You even got people taking to Kijiji and Craigslist advertising their services that you could pay somebody to sit in your car to drive to Toronto in the carpool lane so you can get to work on time. And these people aren't going to Toronto. They're just going to sit there and mess around in the city till you have to go back. And you can pay these people to act as your mannequin. You can pay live people to be a mannequin, to sit in your car, to get to work, to get to Toronto for your Agenda 21 carpool lane. And so now Kim Jong-un is debating on whether to make these carpool lanes permanent. They're only supposed to be here for the duration of the games to make it easier for the people to get back and forth that are participating in the games. That was the excuse. She wants to make them permanent and turn them into toll lanes. Toll road lanes.
But this HOV lane, tell you how really busy it is. The police clocked this woman going 140 clicks down HOV lanes not too long ago.
Oh yeah.
There was nobody on there. She's just going like crazy.
Well, this is the scam. Those roads are paid for with our tax money, and now they want to charge us a toll on a road that we already pay for. We already pay the maintenance on the road. We pay for the road. Now you want to charge us a toll to use the road. It's getting ridiculous.
It is.
And wait a second, like this HOV lane, this was supposed to be temporary for these games. Now you want to make it permanent and make it a toll lane. So, I mean, it's a scam. The scam just keeps going on with these Scam Am Games.
Well, the only way you're going to be using it if you carpool, like, 3 to 5 people in the car. How many people do you see, either 3 or 4 or 5 in a car? Usually just 2 at most.
Well, some people may like the idea, like, I'll pay a little bit extra just so I don't have to sit in traffic. Well, that only worked for a little bit until everyone has to do it because there's no way they can even get to work on time if they do the other one. And then it's backed up to being jammed up the way it was before. So now there's no advantage to being in the regular lane or the carpool lane, and paying the extra money. Now you're just paying triple the amount. You paid to build the roads, you pay to maintain the roads, and now you get to pay for each time you use the roads. I wouldn't be opposed to toll roads if I didn't have to pay for the damn road in the first place.
We have before us the
opportunity. End of the show, guys.
For ourselves and for future generations.
Take it easy, guys.
Thank you all for listening. Order. Yes, thank you.
A world where the rule of law,
safe.
not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.